Hello and welcome back to another episode of Who's the Bitch?
Ooh,
where
baby.
me, Kara Klenk, and my co-host Jackie Zebrowski tell
That's
you
me.
who the bitch is in your bitchuation.
You're damn right we will.
Hi, Jackie.
Hi, Kara. How are you, man? We are having like a summer away from each other.
I know, it's sad. I don't like it. I'm starting
miss
to get
you.
I know I'm getting to the point where I'm like, I kind of want to be back. Like I am enjoying this. Like, and there's different sections of this trip to look forward to, but I'm like, I'm ready to be back in my own bed. I'm ready to be back, like whatever. But I'm at my parents' house right now. And I know.
Good patience to you, young sir.
And like you can tell they just have they live in like a brand new building, like home, because it's like part of a development.
Oh.
But like their style is so old. Like my mom just loves an old style. Like, and so many paintings on the wall. I mean, like every wall has like 12 paintings on it. It's like, because my mom's best friend is a painter and I think she just like unloads them on her.
Oh, I love that.
But it's a lot of paintings. My kids are touching them. I'm like, get your hands off the damn paintings.
I did need to beg to ask Karos right before we started recording that there's a little friend in the room with us that I've been
She
noticing.
Goes, who's that little friend behind you? I go, let's save it for the pod. So in the corner of this room right now, right next to my son's package of pull-ups, is his doll, Elanor.
That's his doll. Okay.
It's his doll.
Your mother's.
No. My mother's not a creepy doll lady.
Okay.
But she's almost there, but she's not. But Elanor is my son's doll that he made me buy at a tag sale. So I paid about $2 for Elanor, and the previous owner, like an 8-year-old girl, had, painted her nails, given her winged eyeliner.
Yes,
respect.
bitch. Wow.
And,
very 2013 of that child.
Slay. I mean, like, Elanor can't really sit up unless she's in a full spread eagle.
Good for her. I've been there.
We also got her, like, she came with like 4 outfits. So Oscar's very specific about like when she's wearing her pajamas and when she's wearing her thing. Made me bring her on this trip. Has barely looked at her the entire time we've had her. But like at home, he loves her. But on the trip, he's not cared.
It's because he knows that she's there.
Yeah.
And isn't that wonderful? Honestly, I didn't realize that Elanor is Oscar's Gloria. And so
yes,
if you really think of Elanor as like a porch goose of sorts, then maybe you can open your heart. Now, I will say Gloria doesn't quite have the dead glass eyes of Elanor.
Exactly.
So that
or
is
like the ratty hair of years gone by being played with a stranger child.
Yes.
I mean, here's my question for you. Would I be the bitch if I left Elanor in Connecticut? And I wait to see how long he actually asks for it. And if I can go, let me try to find her. And if he really freaks out, I'll be like, Mom, mail it to me. But I think this could be my way to phase Elanor out.
Or it can really come back to bite you in the ass.
Here's the thing. I don't want anyone to think I don't want my son to have a doll or anything. I obviously am very down with my son.
She's just big and lumbering.
She's just big and like old and ratty. And like, I just don't want to be carrying her around the rest of my life.
And that dress
because he's fully ignored her.
The dress is desperately trying to hold her knees together, and it's just not working.
Oh, no. Elanor is that slut. She is out there. She's legs open, ready to play.
Do you get annoyed by childless people when they ask you about like yours? I feel like I have multiple co-hosts right now that are on. I'm referring to them only as trips with their children rather than saying their vacations.
Don't say vacation.
Yeah, okay. So you like it when the childless say trip rather. Like, I feel like I'm giving you respect by saying I acknowledge that you are not having a blast doing what you're doing.
I am traveling with my children.
You're traveling with your children.
I mean, I totally appreciate you doing that. I don't require it. Like, I don't, like, people are like, how's vacation? And I'm always like, well, it's not really, it's like an opportunity for a joke. But like, I'm not like, I had a great weekend at the Jersey Shore with my friends. I've had like a couple little, tomorrow I'm going away for 24 hours. I'm getting little pockets of time by myself. I've gone into the city and done some stand-up, which has been really fun. Like, I hadn't done stand-up in New York in a long time.
Working, Kara. Oh, good.
Well, like, I've been able to see some friends and stuff, so it's good. But it's like, it's just been a lot of time with the children. And then then we embark on a family week of just being with them, and then a week at a family camp where we're with them, where I also have to run it. So anyway,
Kara,
that's the story with
too good at
Elanor.
organizing. This is it's like we have to give you these projects. I don't trust myself. If I was going to a family camp, which, I mean, God help me if I was ever sentenced to going to a family camp of some sort, but I would probably rather run it so I didn't have to, I don't know, jump in a lake. But that's just me.
I actually kind of think that the Zebrowskis going to family camp could be the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It would be David and Alexis. Henry and I outside are so just oh, what is this? Oh, a bug. Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
But even being okay, guys, head over to the art barn. We're doing copper enameling and seeing what you guys do. I mean, that part you'd probably love because you are artsy.
Sure.
But okay, guys, archery time. I just would love to see it.
It's because
honestly, I would love to see it. We should make a web series of it. It's you and Henry, but it's also Natalie, Jeff. You bring Ed maybe and Julie. You bring some other people too, and you guys in Vermont at my family camp. I'm picturing it now, and it's so funny to me.
Well, I feel like it's because of Addams Family Values, which is the second Addams Family movie where they go to summer camp, that I've thought about doing a version of LPN at summer camp. We've been making jokes about LPN field day. We need something where we're all outside because we're all, except for you, surprisingly, you and Jared are the only out. Well, is Jared?
Jared is not outdoors at all.
Okay.
He likes family camp a lot, but we're in a cabin. We're not in a tent. I make the kids always want to go on a canoe ride, and I was a canoeing counselor. I know how to canoe, and he's he hates canoes. He hates how tippy they are.
Oh yeah, no, don't put me. No, me and Jared will be hiding.
We have to get you in a canoe. We have to.
Can you imagine me? I would be screaming. You have to see, Kara, man, me close to water. I will have the biggest life jacket on, and I'll just be upset the entire time. But honestly, I'm hilarious when I'm upset.
Yeah, I think this could be really fun. A little get you out of your comfort zone. I teach you just the basics of canoeing, how to control the boat.
I can't even imagine getting into a canoe.
That I think is the hardest part for a lot of people because it's that tippiness, but there's a method to do it. And then once you're in, it's lovely, especially if you're just a passenger. You just sit there.
Yeah, just waiting for any second to topple over and be trapped under the boat, and then you get murdered.
No, well, here's the thing you need to know about canoes. They float. And there is usually a pocket of air underneath the canoe. So even if you had to go up underneath, there's usually a pocket of air, but it's not that hard to swim out from underneath it. But I mean, you're thinking of kayaking. Kayaking is scarier because you're strapped into that thing.
Oh yeah, so and it's always flippy-flopping over.
When you flippy-floppy in a kayak, you got to pull the skirt and get out of there. But when you're in a canoe, it's you just swim away and go, oops. But also, canoes don't tip that often unless it's somebody really leaned all their weight to one side or somebody stood up or did something crazy.
They're going to tip my canoe because that's what they do. They find the ones that are scared and then they tip their canoes. I know what you people do. You water people. You think I'm luring
you into some sort of bedwetting prank camp scandal thing?
I know what. Yeah, and they're all gonna laugh. No, I'll go outside with you someday, Kara.
Okay, one day we'll do it. I'm going to write this up. I'm writing this up as a pitch. This is a great idea. This is Zebrowski. Go outside. I love this. Or the whole network does a week of programming outside. So it's you have to do Crescent City outside.
Oh my God. We're just sweating. Just I hate this. Just complain. No wonder kids complain going to camp every day. It's I don't want to be forced to be outside either.
My kids love being outside.
That's nice.
They fucking love it.
That's nice.
They love it. But that's with good weather. They can be little rats too about coldness and wetness. But listen, this episode's coming out on August 20th.
Yes.
We're taping a little bit in advance because we've got summer plans and then there's a network break and stuff. So we're not really going to...
Kara has to run an entire camp, by the way. So
for 1 week.
But still, that's a long week, Kara.
I think once I get it going, it'll run itself. And then I'm just going to be putting out fires, not real ones. Hopefully, knock on wood. But we have so many great submissions this week. So I thought we could just kind of, we don't really need to do unsolicited advice that much because most of these gossipy stories that we like to talk about will be old news by the time you listen to this episode.
My favorite thing about me and you, Kara, is that we were like, yeah, we're just going to like just jump right in. We're going to jump right in up top. And then
it's like
10
minutes
late. Yeah, exactly. It's just like, this is us jumping right in. This is like, that's the minimum amount that we can talk before.
That's as quick as we can jump. Sorry. But let's listen to this first voicemail because this one really like kind of made my jaw drop.
I'm very excited.
Thank you for calling Who's the Bitch. Tell us in the voicemail who's the bitch. Beep.
Okay, hi. So all of this just happened and I'm still processing it. So I'm going to try to keep it really succinct, but I'm sorry if it's kind of all over the place.
Good.
And I thought about calling in to the live show, but I don't think I could tell this story in a way that made any sense in person. So my name is Morgan, and this is a story that involves my two best friends. I'm going to call them Sarah and Jason. We've been best friends since birth, basically. Our parents were friends. We all grew up in the same neighborhood. We always went to the same schools. We all went to the same college. We've just always been super close, and we're all 30 now. So,
whoa, 1 foot in the grave.
My friend Sarah, she has a younger sister. They have a pretty big age gap. Her sister, I'll call her Lily. Lily just turned 18 last week. Okay. So like 7 days ago, Lily turns 18, right? 3 days later, Jason, my friend Jason, again, friends from birth. We've all been like older siblings. So Lily, obviously Sarah's her real sibling, but like she's kind of been like a little sister to us too. We watched her grow up. So 3 days after Lily's birthday, which I guess 4 days ago, Jason and Lily sit us all down and tell us that they got married. Like as soon as she turned 18, they went out and got married. And we're just all fucking like jaws on the floor. I cannot, like, I'm even just saying it now, like it sounds fucking fake. Like what? Jason and Lily got married. Like that's what the fuck. And okay, another part of this, and so like Jason is bisexual, and he's always had like a really strong preference for men. And I don't say, like, I hope that doesn't sound like I'm bisexual myself. Like, I don't intend to sound biphobic or anything, but just like that was like another reason why it came as even more of a shock, just because they never showed any interest in each other in that way. Like, again, it's always been like a sibling relationship. And so me and Sarah and Lily's parents, her parents are fucking furious.
I bet.
But they can't do anything. She's 18. And again, I'm sorry, this is so like frazzled and all over the place, but I'm just like, we're just all in shock kind of. And so when they told us, I just got up and left. Like I didn't say anything. I just got up and left because I was gonna say something foul. Like I was gonna yell at them, and I didn't want to do that because, especially like with Lily, like I don't want. God, I just don't know how to feel because again, Jason has best friends since like birth. We've done everything together. We know everything about each other. I never would have expected this, and we're just shocked. And again, you know, Lily is technically an adult. Technically, quote unquote, technically, she's 18. Like that's still a teenager. And I'm 30. I cannot imagine being with someone who is 18. We had absolutely nothing in common. Like, it's great to have like that younger sibling relationship with someone, but like, that's the extent of it. Like, I don't have anything in common with someone that much younger than like, oh my God, again, sorry. I'm just so this whole situation is crazy. And I have not, like, they've been texting, like we have a group chat with everybody. They've been texting like nonstop, trying to like reach me. Like Sarah went off on them. I wasn't there, but she told me about it later that she fucking went off and she was very not happy. And Lily was very upset and Jason got mad. And anyway, it's just a crazy situation. And I probably forgot details and stuff. All of this is fucking insane. So am I the bitch for being really upset about this and storming out? Is Jason the bitch for like, God, I don't even know. I don't even know what vocabulary to use, but I'm about to hit the 5-minute time limit. But yeah, tell me who's the bitch, please. And I love you both so much. Thank you.
Whoa, Juice City over here.
Like, I'm sorry, like at the risk of being too tied to my other podcast where I literally research sex crimes all day, like this is sketchy. Like, what the fuck? Like, you didn't start a sexual relationship with someone when they turned 18 and marry them 3 days later.
Right? No, it sounds like they were already married.
Something happened before.
So, I mean, of course, obviously, first thought out the gate
something
is that she's
before,
in a family way. Like,
yeah.
that's, the old school thought of like, but that is such an antiquated thought to me, but I forget that that's not an antiquated thought to other people.
Oh no, my thought is that it's just that they've been hooking up before she was legal.
For sure, but that's why, like, if she's knocked up, then it's like, well, we gotta make this legit then because
but don't you think they would have said that in the call? That seems like a pretty big detail she would have said in the call.
But that's what I'm saying. Maybe they didn't tell. This is what I'm saying.
They're not telling.
They're not talking about it because
it would make their friends understand a lot more if they were like, oh, but I'm like, I'm like sad to say to Morgan that I think your friend Jason is like not a good guy.
Yeah.
Like, I know he's been your friend your whole life, but like this whole like line of legality of like somebody's from when they're 17 and 3 months to when they're 18, like that there's some kind of big difference. I know that's the law. That doesn't necessarily make it less creepy.
Yeah.
For you to marry someone who has been in a little sister role in your life, your whole life. And I don't have a problem with age differences. I have a problem with this age difference and this dynamic. Like this, I have a problem with.
Yes.
To call Jason a bitch does not even... I don't even know if Jason registers on the bitchometer here.
Yeah.
Because you're doing something now that like is betraying your friend. You're taking your friend Sarah, who you've not told. The caller, Morgan, is like in a group with you guys and she doesn't know either. Secondarily betrayed. You have a relationship with the family. And what is up? If it's not because she's pregnant, if it's like you knocked her up and you're trying to do the right thing, like we're in the 1960s or something,
saying, right? That's
maybe okay, but I still think you're a creep. And if you are doing this for some kind of reason, like she wants to be emancipated from her family. I don't know. She's 18. She can do whatever she wants. This makes no fucking sense to me. I want so many more details and information.
So much more because I really also, it's like, can we get Sarah to call in? Because I'd love to hear because the fact that Sarah flipped the fuck out, because I mean, if that was my sister, I also would have flipped the fuck out. But I will say, the one thing that I will say about all of this is that we got to think about Lily in this situation, right?
Right. And I think for that reason, you were not the bitch for walking out.
No, because I understand at that point in time, especially when sometimes nothing you are going to say is going to help a situation. Sometimes you need to remove yourself from a situation. And that, I feel, is usually not the bitchy choice. I think it is usually a good choice to be able to remove yourself if especially you need a second to take something in. But I understand her sister going off. But I would say to Sarah, and then I guess also, through Morgan, I want to get to Sarah to say, don't push her away too hard.
Yeah.
Because she needs guidance right now. She needs some help. And I think that like a flip out, obviously you're going to flip out. You're probably going to say stuff. But now it is, okay, now that we've had a flip out, now that this confession has come out, what are we going to do? Because they're married. So how are we going to continue? Are you going to cut the two of them just out of your life? Which I would only say, don't do that, again, because Lily seems like she's not making the best of choices. Jason is
She's being taken advantage of. She's being taken advantage of. I know she's old enough to vote by a hair.
Yes.
I know she's old enough to serve in the military by a hair. But
country.
that's nothing about, like, that's... First of all, 18-year-olds can be all different levels of maturity. I have no idea where Lily falls on this. But a person that just finished their senior year of high school marrying someone that they've always seen in their life as an older brother, this is bizarre. If this turned into a marriage, if they met when they were 25 and 37 and they fell in love, I would honestly be like, that's a cute little story. But that does not have this like power dynamic that's going on here where you're 12 years older and you've always fulfilled a certain role in this person's life. And if it was okay and you felt like it was the right thing to be doing, why did you keep it a secret from her sister and your best friend?
Right. Because you knew what you were doing. And also,
you probably thought they won't understand.
Right. But my huge question is, when did it fucking start? And I feel like if I was Sarah, if I was Morgan, that would have been my first out. I would have flipped out. I understand flipping out.
Yeah.
I know that at that moment, technically, the right thing to do is to not flip out and to take that in. But we're human beings, all right? This is an insane thing to say because, like, as someone, I remember just hooking up with one of my brother's friends, and he was only 3 years older than me, and that was like, Henry never wanted to speak to him ever again.
Yeah.
And just because of the power dynamic. And it's like, the 30 to 18, the fact that they kept it a secret makes, it really just scares me that it happened, that it's not like, oh, they just started banging 2 months ago and then they fly by night got married. Like, it disgusts me that unfortunately it makes me think that it started earlier and that this is something that
it definitely started when it was illegal.
It's a grooming
and it's creepy.
Certainly.
Yeah.
And it's a grooming situation. I understand your upset, but I hope that you don't lose the tether to Lily, and I hope that over time she's able to get the therapy that she needs, because obviously she's making interesting choice right now. We all made weird choices when we were 18, right? But this is
hopefully she can get an annulment. They can get an annulment if they come to their freaking senses.
Divorces are always possible. That's that can be undone. All right, it's money at the end of the day.
It would have been creepy for them to sit you down and say we're dating. That would have been creepy.
Yes, it already would have been creepy.
Why the marriage? Why the marriage?
3 days after the 18th birthday. What is this?
Like
Mary Kate and Ashley
Olsen? The guy wants to cover up.
I know
any kind of prosecution or something. Like, it feels like he doesn't want to get arrested for statutory rape if not that there's any proof that, unless there's proof that you can't,
unless she's going after him.
Unless she goes after him. She married him, I
know.
But the parents could go after him. If she was 17, the parents could go after him, but I think they would also have to have proof that it was going on.
Very much so. Yes.
But
and even then, you especially with all of your research with your other show, that even if you have proof, usually that's still not quite enough. Fun.
But Morgan, I feel bad for you too, because this is this is breaking Sarah's family apart, I'm sure. But for you, this is you realizing that this guy that you've been friends with your entire life and who's probably a brother to you is a creep. I'm sorry.
And recognize that this is also happening to you. It is happening to all of you. And you now are also, I imagine, and remember to take time for self-care, because you're going to mourn the friendship that you had with Jason. That friendship is dead. Even if you create a new friendship or you move past this in some way in the future, the friendship you just had with Jason is gone. So now it's also, how do you feel about someone that is so close to you hiding something like this? When you are real besties like that. If I'm in this situation, I'm imagining Holden doing something like this to me. And I the betrayal on top of everything.
Yeah. Like Holden being like, I married your niece. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
honestly, yes, my niece is 19.
Yeah.
And my niece is a lesbian. It's also in that way. Because, like, especially what Morgan did bring up, which I do understand why it raised red flags in your head, that usually Jason would find himself with people that were men.
Yeah.
And also that raises some flags in your brain too. Not that I'm saying, again, as a bisexual that is married to a man, not that I'm saying it can't be done.
Right.
I know there's a couple of us out there, but all of this reeks of something awful, y'all. And
there was no reason to get married 3 days after her 18th birthday. There's no reason.
Or there has to be a reason.
Or
and
she's pregnant.
To know what it is.
But even then, it's like, I mean, what year is you have to get married? I don't know. That seems crazy.
But also, what state is it, Kara?
But
like,
also, if
you got to remember,
if she's pregnant, that means if she's pregnant and they know it, it means that they had sex before she was 17.
That's right.
This girl's been 18 or before she was 18.
Which is
so that's proof. If he's the father of that child, it's proof of statutory rape.
Which is why then, if the parents were that upset, they probably could go after him. But then, if they're married, maybe not.
I mean, Morgan, I'm begging you for a follow up.
We have to, please,
and ask Sarah to call in. We'd love to talk to Sarah. I know she's probably very
upset,
like fucking torn up about this. And maybe you're not going to ask her because she doesn't even know that you're calling into a fucking podcast about this. But oh my God, my heart goes out to her. I feel like I feel like it's like I've felt like tensions in my family when someone's dating someone that we all don't like, let alone this kind of like secrecy and betrayal and possible criminal activity. Like, this is fucked up. So be kind to yourself and let yourself. I think you totally made the right choice to get up and leave. Yes. I can't believe you did that. That's a self-control I do not have.
No,
like,
me
I would have
neither.
gone nuts. And I think you spared Lily having to be like, oh no, what's this other person who I've had in my life, my entire life, going to say viciously to me? You spared her that. And I think that's good. What she gets from her sister is like between them, or what I think, but fuck, this is crazy.
She needs a support system, though. She needs you now. She needs you guys.
Yeah. I mean, to me, this is almost like you're in a cult. It's like, I don't know how you get somebody out of this, because it's like, how did you get into this? Like, you're so impressionable that you...
Part of me wants to be like, well, maybe talk to Lily's friends and also like, maybe like start to reinforce the support system around her. But then, of course, my immediate thought is somebody like a Jason probably doesn't like her having friends. But now I'm putting supposition. Now I'm just...
Now you're...
now I'm hating on Jason. Yeah. And, that's now I've got a lot of fucking feelings about it. And I'm proud of you again. Also proud of you for walking out, Morgan. Because, I wouldn't have been able to zip this.
Oh, yeah. But please, oh my God, please send us an update and let us know what happens. But this is... Oof. Jason.
Sending you love.
Sending you lots of love.
Jason is the bitch, by the way, in case we were wondering.
Jason is off the bitchometer. We have to create new categories.
Yes.
So, okay, let's go on to our next submission. This is an email, and our writer writes, "You've got Hi, Kara and Jackie. My name is Andy, and I have a little anxiety that perhaps your enlightened perspectives could help alleviate, because I love and trust you both, and since we've never met, your third-person view is super valuable. My 20-year high school reunion is coming up next month. Ooh. Mountain Vista, class of 05,
Hell
barf
yeah.
emoji, then followed by a barf emoji. Now, I still keep in touch with about 5 of my classmates after all this time. My little sister even married one of the guys from my class, and we're very close. Most of them have been looking forward to the reunion, and they all expect me to go with them. However, I don't feel any positivity towards this notion. I hated high school. My closest friends were my biggest bullies. I was a deeply closeted gay kid in a conservative suburb in the 90s, and I worked incredibly hard to form my identity over the last 6 years by finally getting sober and attending shitloads of therapy.
Congrats!
Yeah, proud of you.
Jesus.
Good for you. Now that the event is within sight, I'm feeling torn as to whether or not I should go. On one hand, it would be a great way to do something with those friends I do love. of. It could be a memorable night, and I still have a fantasy of hooking up with one or two of the guys from my class. On the other hand, it could just open up all the horrible bullshit I put in the rear view decades ago and turn me into an unhappy bitch. I don't use any social media, so I wouldn't know who may or may not be there, and I don't want that paranoia to guide my decision. I only live about 40 minutes away from home, so attending would be easy, as would escaping if it sucks. LOL.
Okay.
I keep asking myself, what would I get out of the experience? And I'm stuck. I'm leaning towards going, but I'd hate to be the broody dud of the group. What do you all think? Did you/will you attend your reunions? How did it go? How would you handle this if you were me? Thank you so much for reading this letter and for all the work you put into your shows. I look forward to Who's the Bitch, page 7 and Last Pod every day of every week. Y'all are really, really awesome, conscientious, funny, and insightful. Hope to hear back soon. Your farmer friend in Colorado, Andy H. Andy. Listen, I am a reunion queen. I go to all my reunions, not necessarily high school.
Wow.
I did go to my high school. I went to my high school 10, and then I couldn't go.
How was it?
To 15 or 20. It was fun. Our 10 was fun because we're all 28. Like none of us, like I guess some people had like one kid, but most people were just like, I was still single. Like it was just like a fun night out with my friends. You know, I mostly hung out with my friends. I will say also, like, I did not have a horrible high school experience. Like definitely I had bullies, like I had bad experiences, but I was pretty involved and I went to parties and I liked high school fine. I'm not like a glory days high school person. It wasn't where I peaked, but I had like a fine high school experience, you know? So I would go back because I just like would be like, oh, this will be fun. You know, I'll see some old people because to me, there were always a few people that you don't necessarily keep in touch with, but it's fun to see.
Right.
You know what I mean? For college, I go back to all of them and I get all my friends organized and we all go back because I fucking loved college and I love my friends from there. And it's fun to go back to the campus and just like get wasted again. And like we sleep there and it's fun. High school, I get it. But I will say, 20 years, and I'm assuming you didn't go to your 5, 10, 15, and that this is like the first time. I feel like some people are still dicks, but most people have really softened in their personalities. Like I would say most people are not their old high school shitty self. And like you can actually have like a nice conversation with somebody that maybe used to be awful to you. And maybe I'm being too rose-colored glasses about this. Like you do not need to do anything you don't want to fucking do.
Right.
But it's not like you are going to prove anything to anyone, but it sounds like you've got your life where you want it to be. You've got your identity where you want it to be. Why not go and have a night that you think is going to be fun with your classmates, especially when it's not going to require that much effort and your exit strategy? If you meet one person that looks at you fucking sideways, you're like, out of here, bye.
I'm out.
These people don't get access to me, bye. But you could be there with your 5 friends, have a great time, get a little gossip, like remember that time that this happened on the school trip, or like, some fun memories or whatever. I think it could help possibly heal some of the like high school wounds that you might feel. I mean, I understand that you're nervous that it could reopen that, but I feel like that to me seems like a sitcom representation of a high school reunion.
Right.
That you go back and the popular girls are still like, hey, asshole. You know, like, I don't think it's like that. You know? Like, I don't think you go back and everybody's still in their little archetypes. I mean, like, God knows that when I went back, some of the dorkiest girls were gorgeous.
Of course.
Like, people had major glow ups. Some of the hottest guys were now bald with beer bellies. You know what I mean? It's like, and I'm not just making jokes about people's appearance. It's just like, it's not like what you see in like a high school movie thing where you go back to your reunion and everybody's still the same and they all are like bringing up you being awkward and closeted or whatever you're scared of. Like, I think people are going to be like, what are you up to these days?
Right.
Remember that time that our teacher fucking farted? You know, I don't know. Like, I just think it could be like a fun night, and at worst, it'll just be a few awkward conversations. I don't think that it's going to super like
especially because it's 40 minutes away. I feel like that really changes the game, because honestly, Kara, I am the absolute opposite of you. I would never attend a reunion of my high school. I have no desire. I feel like any of the ones that I want to talk to, I still talk to. And you know what? It's not that many of them.
Yeah.
But it was because of me. It's not so much because of other people. I have a lot of issues with my past that I am still actively working on. So I do understand, Andy, being worried about things getting ripped back open. And I totally, especially like being put back into that situation, because even though you're not going back into the cliques, you're still in the same scenario, because it's like you're going back to the school. You're going back. Yeah. Like, I feel like when I go back to my high school, and it makes me feel like the end of A League of Their Own with like, this used to be my playground. Like, all of the memories come through, but oftentimes I struggle with going back to my hometown, and I've had to really work on many years in therapy to not only focus on the negative things from what happened in my high school experience, but that's something that I have actively worked on. You are a different version of who you were in high school, Andy. And so you are bringing to every conversation your new, reinforced, stronger therapy-ass self to all of this situation. So you have the guard around you. You have been doing the work. And that, I think, is the hardest part about going to reunions. Yeah. It is like dealing with like, well, where am I in this world? Because I feel like it is all the comparisons, especially if you don't have social media. So then it's in real life comparison of what these people are doing in their life. And then you're just actively, I would suggest, Andy, as someone that is terrified of going to a reunion, especially because I'd have to fly for it and I'd get a hotel. And so it's like, again, you're driving to it. I would say with your friends, go to it, but have an exit plan. If you guys together could create like an after party or a place for you guys to go that like, even if you're there for 40 minutes and you say, you know what, I'll meet you at the jukebox afterwards, and just go ahead of them and then meet up with everybody else. Because also then maybe you'll see people that you did love that you haven't talked to in a long time and be like, hey, a couple of us are getting out of here. You want to go grab a drink around the corner? You know, I mean, not drink, because I think you got sober. Not a drink.
Yes.
So go
and
get
I didn't
a slice
mean to
of
bring
pizza.
up before how I get wasted at my reunions either, like because I know you're sober, so it's like a different situation.
But also, I have a sober partner and I live mostly a sober life, so I understand you're also bringing such a presence and awareness to the situation. Give yourself the grace of having an out. I think it will take a lot of the anxiety off of being there, because then it doesn't feel like, oh, even if like I immediately go in and I'm there for 10 minutes and I don't want to stay there anymore, then I got to drive all the way back 40 minutes to go home. And then you still have a great night with the people you wanted to see.
Yeah.
I hope that you take that advice, because I feel like that's literally what I thought about going to my 20-year high school reunion, because it was also this year, also class of 2005, also barf emoji. And I think that like when I was thinking about going, that's what I thought I would do. I was like, I would tell a select few that I was going to be somewhere else after the reunion. But then I ended up not going.
It is also like, I don't know. There is something also, I hate to say it, very strangely satisfying about seeing somebody that was like mean or awful in high school.
I bet.
And kind of being like, so what are you up to now? And they're just kind of like, I don't know, a little bit unhappy. There's something nice about that, you know, like
it makes me think of like why I watch reality shows. You know, it's like, oh, well, at least, you know, I watch like Ultimatum and I'm like, well, Jeff, at least we're not doing that. Right.
Right.
You know, I feel like you are right. I'm sure that and also I hope that it gives you some closure to seeing some people and seeing what a difference that they've hopefully made in their life. Because you want to wish everybody the best. We want to live with good intentions in our hearts.
Yeah, I think what you would get out of the experience is, like you said, a fun night with your friends, because it's not like you're going alone. If you were messaging us going, none of my friends can go, but I still kind of feel like maybe I want to go,
then I would say
that would
don't
be different.
go.
I'd be like, maybe don't go, or at least I would go to anything like that with one wingman, like with one person that's going to go with me, and like you have it. You're like, okay, I want to, you know. You make a plan. I might go over there and talk to so-and-so. Where are you going? You know, just so you have like your person.
Have a pod.
And I think honestly, I don't know. For me, I've had some really bad experiences with stuff before. And as time goes on, I start to only remember the good stuff about it and not the bad. Like,
that's nice.
And I don't know if that's just my brain self-protecting myself, but like, I'll be like, oh, that actually wasn't that bad. And it's like, God, I remember when it was happening. I was like, I can't wait to get out of here. I fucking hate this so much. Like a job or something.
But
you
it is
know?
how
like,
our brains protect ourselves. It's like when you go and think back to the quarantine and how like you don't remember individual days because your brain truncates times of high stress and trauma to help you deal with it better.
Yeah.
So that is your brain's way of protecting you. So it's like, thanks, brain. But sometimes, man, the anxiety is also sometimes the way in which the brain thinks it's protecting itself. And it's like, can you not? I don't need to fight or flight right now.
Yeah, I just think sometimes it's like you go to one of these things, you have a nice conversation with like an old contact, and you're like, that was actually really nice. I think that's mostly what people think when they come out of these situations, even though people avoid them or people dread them. And like, I think it ends up being not like this reliving of high school. You're a different person, and it's really just like a group of people. And the great news is, unlike high school where you were basically locked within those walls, you can leave whenever the fuck you want. You know, you're your own person. You're a grown ass man. You do whatever you want. You can go get a burger and fucking go home. You know?
Also, like what we were saying to Morgan earlier, if you find yourself in an uncomfortable situation, remember, you can excuse yourself whenever the fuck you want. And I know that that's a silly thing to have to remind yourself sometimes, but I feel like as someone that has quit smoking, I forget that because I used to use it as like, oh, I'm going to go smoke a cigarette if I want to get out of a conversation. It's like, no, you can just leave a conversation. I thought I had to have cigarettes and
I got to run.
You don't.
Yeah.
You could just be like, oh, I'm just going to, or you don't have to say anything. You just walk away.
Yeah. But let us know if you go, and let us know if you hook up with any of your old high school pals. I would love to see it.
I mean, you know, between like that, I have always dreamed of a reunion of a hookup. It makes me think of like the wedding hookups, the wonders of a wedding hookup, babes.
Oh man, been there. All right, let's do our next submission. Jackie, you read this one, and this is a DM.
Got you. You got it. So I've been best friends with, let's call him Daniel, for 11 years now. I'm a male, 24. He's a male, 25. I asked him to be the best man at my wedding back in February. My wedding will be in October. Congratulations! I told him who I want at the bachelor party and tasked him with planning it. That is the only thing I wanted him to handle. Everything else I was doing myself. For context, it's an extremely small wedding by choice, about 15 people, holding it in a horse graveyard, actually. That sounds fucking badass.
Ooh, spooky.
So time goes by, fast forward from February to last month. I am hearing nothing from him. My brother, nobody. So I shoot out a call just out of curiosity to my brother. I ask him if he's been contacted by Daniel. Turns out he hasn't been. I'm thinking, that's weird. So I contact another guy and another guy. Soon enough, I asked all the people in my party. Nobody had heard anything. And like, it's been months. So I freak out a little bit, honestly expecting him to have forgotten entirely. I then just decide, like, I need to check in with him for my own sanity. So I text him. We work together, but he's on a different shift. And ask him if he's having troubles, etc. Turns out, quote, he has too much anxiety about it and has been procrastinating for months. And naturally, I see red. I begin to ask him if he's done anything. He says he hasn't. And maybe I'm overreacting and being the bitch at this point. But I just tell him in a Cliff's Note. There was talk about him working with another guy. Call him Freddie. Freddie owns a cabin. Goal was to haul everyone out there, maybe a weekend on the town in the cabin. Well, now it's too late to plan anything, right? So I text him about how he's messed those plans up. Nobody can get time off anymore. And I ask him if he hadn't contacted him, would he have just said nothing until the day of ... The next day at work, he tells me that I made it too hard for him because I didn't give him anyone's contacts. He's known everyone in my bachelor party for years. I mean everyone. So no, right away I'm thinking he's just throwing blame on me and lying in my face. Then he tries to tell me that it's not that hard. I'm overreacting and he can just plan one by the end of the week. Like, could you not have done it if it's that easy through all of these months? Anyways, I told him to F himself and stop talking to him up until, well, still not. He tries to talk to me at work like it's just another day and nothing's wrong. He even asked me why I won't text him back anymore. Am I the bitch for removing him from being best man and possibly wanting to end our friendship over this? Here's another bit of context. He used to date one of my best friends, Katie, and he told her that he and I dated. We never did. Both Daniel and I are bi, but we never dated. And that makes me feel really, really weird. Love you both. Been binging your podcast for weeks. Love LPN, and we love you too. Oh, baby. Oh, baby.
Okay, so I can't tell if the little context clue at the end where he said you dated means that there's like a crush happening, and maybe he's like secretly or subconsciously sad that you're getting married, and that by not planning the bachelor party, he's kind of like, you know, sort of like silently protesting that you're getting married. Maybe that's go a step too far. It could also just be as simple as men are bad at these things, and like you seem to have had expectations that my husband's bachelor party was like a bunch of guys going to a steakhouse. Like no one had to do anything because everybody was like no one is a planner. You know what I mean?
Right.
You, the writer, you sort of sound like maybe you're a bit of a planner because you're handling a lot of the details of your wedding yourself. But like your friend sounds like he's not. So I do think it's wrong that he is a bitch for basically just like letting anxiety completely take over, not reaching out and saying, hey,
yes,
I need help with this, not asking one other guy in the group, hey, can you help me come up with ideas for this? I don't know what we could do. Like,
right.
Or get in touch with Freddie, the guy with the cabin. Like he did just kind of boof it and then try to turn it around on you, which is lame as hell and bitch-like behavior. But also it sounds like if you wanted something specific, you got to communicate it to him. Like, hey, you're my best man. I want you to pay my bachelor party. I really want to do this thing with Freddie at the lake. Can you connect with him and make it happen? And then, you know, maybe that would have, I don't know.
I would be as upset as you
have a complete right to be upset.
You're completely valid.
Yeah.
I feel like the reason why the bitchery occurred was it is difficult, and I know that we've said this on the show before, it's hard for people to say no to being asked to do a wedding task, right? But we need to, as a society, get better at saying no if something like this fills you with dread. Because here's the thing, there are people in our lives that we ask to do certain things. Kara, if I was about to get married and you were on my list, I would definitely ask you to help me organize things.
Yeah.
That is your strength. I do wonder that I want to at least give Daniel the benefit of the doubt of, I think a lot of us have frozen before when given a task that seems unsurmountable. I think that some of us definitely have struggled with, and maybe I'm just talking about myself, but I know I'm not alone, that something seems so unsurmountable that you kind of put it over to the side and just go, well, I'll deal with that when I deal with it, which we all do with a lot more in our lives than I feel like we like to say, because there's just so much going on all the time. It isn't how he dealt with it in the fact that he flipped it on you to make it be like, well, you didn't do this and you didn't do this. And then to say, well, then, and it's not even that hard. That would have made me flip out. That definitely would have. I was like, oh, if it's not that hard, then what happened? Don't you turn? It is the he feels bad because he couldn't do it and he didn't communicate that. And then it's the barbs out at you. And I feel like that is something, if you would like to continue this friendship, because I do understand asking him to step down as your best man. We've heard many stories of people writing in of if it's going to fuck with your headspace on your wedding day, remove him from your best manship. I have a conversation with him about it, though. And obviously, you're still upset, which I would be, with that added bit of context, you're still upset about that. So I feel like you already were on maybe rocky trust territory with this person. So it feels like, whereas to us, this might be like, oh, the first time Daniel's dropping the ball, so maybe it seems like this is so much for you to not talk to him anymore. Or was this the straw that broke the camel's back? And that's also why you added in this context that, like, if you want to continue talking with Daniel, I would talk to him about all of this and say, and even explain that, like, I now have these feelings about you that I don't know if I even feel comfortable with you standing with me on my wedding day, and see what Daniel has to say about that. And see what Daniel has to say about, like, why did he say that you guys dated? What was the context? Was it like did Katie ever explain to you, like, why it came up and why it was inserted into a conversation? I feel like there were already trust issues.
Yeah, because the bachelor party scenario on its own, like on an island, does not sound to me friendship ending. It sounds like somebody
annoying,
who is honestly, who's 25 years old, like their brain just finished developing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and
also,
you're young as well. Like, it's just like, you know, maybe you guys haven't had a ton of like conversations about your friendship or whatever. And maybe he didn't understand how important a bachelor party was to you. Maybe he just thought it was like a night out with a bunch of guys at a bar, but you wanted it to be something a little bit more special. You wanted it to be a trip. You wanted it to be away. Like,
and he felt paralyzed.
And he felt like, I don't know how to organize all that. And like, then he obviously turned it on you because he was embarrassed and was trying to have you share some of the blame with him. You guys could easily talk all that out, unless, like Jackie said, you don't like that he said this thing to your friend, Katie. You don't like, you know, a couple of other things that have been going on. I think it's like your best man or your maid of honor is supposed to be there to like help you on your wedding day and like ease some of your stress. If you don't feel like he's doing that, go, hey man, like, I don't think you're the best guy to be my best man, but like really interrogate with yourself why you want to end the friendship, because this on its own is just like a fuck up and like a 25-year-old guy who doesn't know how to plan an event. And I'm sure he'll learn from this.
My maid of honor took a booger out of my nose on my wedding day. So it's like, because she just literally, because like I couldn't get it. And I was like, I don't want to fuck up the makeup. And she just like went in. It's like, that was the level. But also, honestly, Carrie, you bring up a great point too. Planning a bachelor party 10 plus years ago for us was very different than the bachelor parties we experienced when, by the time we got married, because I specifically got married later, and we knew more by then. I feel like when we were, it's like friends of mine that got married in our 20s, we didn't know what to do. We were like, I guess, you have a party? Yeah. Are we supposed to? Because we didn't go to a lot of weddings. We didn't
plenty of guys when they're 25 don't know what it's like, how to. I mean, it doesn't sound like the weekend up at the cabin is that extensive. It's not like you have to get on Airbnb and gather money from people or anything like that. But
people are even scared of asking people for their numbers.
Yeah, this is like this guy could have just sent a text and been like, hey, we all want to go up to the cabin this weekend. Like, but it's like organizing when people are available. Okay, this weekend doesn't work for these guys. How about this weekend? Like, it is work. And this guy didn't know how to do it.
It's vulnerable to have to say to a friend of yours, especially at that age, to say, I don't know how to do this. Can you help me?
Yeah.
And I feel like over the years, I've gotten a lot better at openly saying, I don't know how to do this. Can you help me? But when I was 25, I wouldn't have. I definitely could have found myself way more in a situation like this when I was 25.
And even him confessing the anxiety to you at first, I think was like a good vulnerable thing. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, I just honestly have been paralyzed about this. And like, I've shoved it under the rug. And if he had just said, I'm sorry, what can I do now? That would have been great. But because he kind of flipped it around on you and stuff like that.
Saying. That's
like
where the bitchery began. Like
that's when he became the bitch.
If he had just said, I'm paralyzed, like you're going to get annoyed, but you're like, all right, I hear you and I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put you in that position. Like, it's like that conversation could have gone so differently.
But I hope that you still are, at this point, it's August. I hope you're still going to get a little weekend away or whatever you want to do for your bachelor party.
Graveyard. Can we please? That sounds fucking awesome. And I wish I were going to your 15-person wedding. And also extra congratulations for a 15-person wedding. Good on ya. Good for you. It is so difficult. I know so many people in my life that are like, I wish I could have done a fucking 15-person wedding. I would have done anything for a 15-person wedding. It's your day. Make it the best day for you. And sometimes you don't want to work through issues on your wedding day, and that's okay.
Yeah. But let us know what happens. I feel like I'm giving Daniel a pass for being incompetent because he's so young, but I also think he's the bitch in a lot of ways here. And I don't want you to have I don't want you to have you've been friends with his kids since you were a teenager. Like, I mean, you've grown up together. I'm sure he's fucked up before, but I don't know, really check inside yourself and see if this feels like, because this doesn't feel like it was, I think friendship ending stuff should usually, like this would be if it felt
more malicious,
right. Intentional.
Right.
This feels like it's incompetence and anxiety and just like, a lot of different factors. But anyway, let us know what happens and congrats on your wedding. The wedding is really all that matters and you're going to have a beautiful day at the horse graveyard. I know it. Okay. Would
you be too scared to go to a horse graveyard wedding, Kara?
I wouldn't be too scared, but I would be like, what's happening? I don't know what that means, a horse grave. Like, what is it? Are the gravestones really big?
Yeah. Maybe
just big lumps on the ground.
Yeah, they don't put them under the ground. They just kind of lump it on top of them.
You gotta go. Okay. Let's listen to this next call.
Thank you for calling. Who's the bitch? Tell us in the voicemail who's the bitch. Beep.
Hey, Kara. Hey, Jackie. Love you both. We can go by, I'll go by Doe in this. Ooh. I don't think many of my friends listen, so it's fine. And even if they do, I don't even care. They already know the tea. But basically, I have a neighbor who has been stalking me. So for reference, he's 43. I'm 29. I moved in like March. He moved in shortly after me. At first, I just had neighborly speak with him, but then very soon after, I realized it was stalking tendencies. So he would basically ask me what hobbies I have, and then all of a sudden be into them. So he'd ask me music I liked, and then blast it while I'm walking my dog. And this is like 8 a.m. Like, it's too loud. I can hear you across the complex. You're being extra as hell. Everyone hates you. And then it was, what instruments do you play? And I told him at one point I tried to learn the drums. So the next day he's out with drums. And then one day he catches me coming back from volleyball. So the next day he has a volleyball outside, smacking on the sidewalk at 8 a.m. again, like trying to entice me to play. Ugh. So I eventually had neighbors contact me and say, hey, we're worried about you. He says he's like watching you and knows your schedule and thinks you have something going on. Oh. And I had told him multiple times I had a boyfriend. Like, when I say multiple times, I said multiple times. Like, I have a boyfriend, and he didn't try to invite me over. And I'm like, have to run that by the boyfriend. And then he's seen us together. So he's well aware. But in his delusional man brain, he thinks there must be something between us just because I was nice. Because, God forbid a woman speak to a man and be unpleasant. So all this eventually came to a head because I got so frustrated after having another neighbor tell me they were concerned about me. So I filed a police report. Now, come to find out, he's already on probation because he's going through a divorce and has a protection order against him. So he ends up getting an ankle monitor from court, and his attorneys tells him to stay away from me. So you think the message is clear, I'm not interested, whatever. Well, I soon find out that he is still speaking about me and thinks that that there is a future for us. So just a couple of days ago, I was at the pool and I was talking to another couple, 2 nice women, and we were discussing all the things he said, and they relayed to me what I thought he was saying about me because they also dislike him. And then he shows up, and then come to find out after the fact that he thinks there's something between us still and something is going on. So would I guess he lives in the building next to me also, to give more relevance to or context to where we're at in location. Would I be a bitch if I further tell him I find you repulsive and I hate you and that I don't want anything to do with him? He also is claiming that he thinks my boyfriend yelled at me to get me to file this police report, which obviously is not the fact. Like, yes, my boyfriend strongly dislikes him, but I did the police report on my own. So what I don't know how to stop his delusional thoughts. And I don't know if I just need to be an extra bitch and just tell him, I fucking hate you and think you're disgusting. And my boyfriend had nothing to do with me filing a police report. And I guess I don't know how I should go about the situation. So I'm asking you guys for help. I don't think he's physically threatening to me at the point for like legal issue. And they obviously can't do anything. So like I can't get a protection order or anything like that. So I guess I just don't know how to handle it when I know he's talking to other people in the complex about me. And I don't want them to think I have anything to do with him or any interest, because he is absolutely repulsive and it's very upsetting. So let me know what you guys think. If I should be a massive bitch and even bigger than a bitch of filing a police report, I'd love to hear what you have to say. Well, I love you both. Thank you so much. Can't wait to hear what you say. Bye.
Do not speak to him.
Yeah.
Do not speak to him ever again. Do not look at him. Do not acknowledge his presence. You cannot give him any more, not a second more of your time or your attention.
Yeah.
Because I know that you say, I don't think that he's threatening, like he might not be. You do not play that game.
They're always not threatening until they are.
Please do not play that game. In fact, it is something that just makes me see red. The fact that people have, like, something physically has to happen for someone to be able to be protected in this fucking country. It is so,
yeah.
It's why so many people get hurt. It's why they just at that point, you're just letting it happen. Honestly, I feel that I would be a bitch in a different way of talking to because you said you guys live in buildings, talking to the management about it. I think that every single interaction he has with other people talking about you, if you start talking to everyone in your community about the fact that he is a creepist, anything he does, please log it. If he's looking in my windows, if he gets close to my place, have everyone in your establishment know that he is a fucking creepist and put those alarm bells out. The fact that he's still not stopping.
Yeah, it's like, listen,
do not
Jackie
trust
and I
him.
are pretty much always in favor of turning up the bitch, but in this situation, I don't advise it. Like, I really think Jackie's correct on just like saying, like, you've heard that like phrase or whatever that's like, men are afraid that women are going to laugh at them. Women are afraid that men are going to kill them. Like,
right.
So this man, you saying, I hate you and you're disgusting and a bunch of like other, like,
he's probably going to get fucking hard off it. Don't
could
give him
literally,
that shit.
it could either goad him on further or it could like set something off. Like, who fucking knows? This seems like a man who has possible mental health issues. And I think that Jackie's absolutely correct. I would try to be accompanied in your building, like, or when you're going, like, just try not to like be alone at night, I guess, going into your building and stuff like that. I'm really not trying to be like extra, like, dramatic or anything. I just think it's like,
this seriously.
I think, yes, you need to cut off the faucet of attention from him. Like, you need to turn off the spigot. Like, he needs to not get any attention from you, and then like, and just end it. Like, do not speak to him. Like, who cares what people in your building think? He could tell people in your building that you guys are getting married. You're walking in and out of your building with your boyfriend. Like, people in your building know what the truth is at this point, I'm sure, because they're all coming to you to warn you about this person.
Yes.
If multiple people are getting a weird feeling about this guy,
yes,
to the point that they're saying something to you, this is like beyond an eccentric guy that is imagining a future with you. Do you know what I mean? This like feels like at any moment this guy could do something really weird.
Yes.
Weird at best, fucking scary at worst. So I would just say Jackie's correct. You don't speak to him. Eyes straight ahead. No more engaging. And if people from the building tell you stuff, you go, I'm ignoring him. Like, I'm doing the best I can to, I have nothing to do with him.
And maybe
He is not
openly
part of my
refute
life.
him. Like, if these are people that you know, that if he says stuff like that, even if you ask them to be like, she has a boyfriend, she's not dating you. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You guys aren't together. You know, even if it's just to seed it from other people, but please don't speak to him again. And honestly, of course, my first, if we all had, Bezos money, I would say move the fuck out of there. But nobody has that right now.
Yeah.
Nobody can fucking do that. So we know that that's not the option. But of course,
I think
if
you
we
were
had all the
also
money,
smart to do the police report because it is always good to
And
do
log-
a trail and log everything, you know?
Everything. It's like if he's like next time he's playing music that you like, really, but even then you can't prove that he's doing it to you. And that's, it's so great. They're so great.
Yeah, this isn't like a guy that's like asking you out a bunch of times or anything. This is like a guy that's doing stuff that's like, I don't know. I would not be surprised if he had a diagnosis of some kind. And
the fact that
but that doesn't matter in terms of your personal safety.
He already had a protection order against him. Okay.
Yeah.
He's already,
Yes.
this is not just, that's why I'm not trying to be over dramatic. But we have to take situations like this very seriously.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm glad that you are, and I know that a lot of us have a lot of feelings about cops, but if this stuff is not logged, it cannot be used. You need every time, call the fucking, every single time, call the police and make another, have them write it down. Have it write it down every single time.
Yeah. And if he keeps saying weird shit to the neighbors to the point that the neighbors feel weird, tell your neighbors, call management. Call management. Maybe if he gets enough complaints about him at management, he'll get kicked out of the building. You know,
use the community.
You can't be in a building where you're making multiple people feel uncomfortable and you're like, like verbally, if not physically, imposing on someone with like
get
weird.
Him kicked out of the apartment.
Yeah. Wishing you so much love and safety, and I hope that this fucking guy gets.
Even I said get him kicked out of the apartment also just like filled me with dread because like, but then
I know. Then is he like?
Please protect your. Please make sure that you're taking this seriously.
Yeah,
and thank
that's
you for
what I was gonna say. Take it as seriously as like you take it seriously because you just what's the harm? Take it seriously. Like it's better to take it seriously and then go, it ended up being nothing than to not take it seriously and have this guy fucking switch one day and, break into your apartment or do something crazy. So we're sending you tons of positive energy and I hope that this guy creeps away.
Also, that actually is a good idea. Get a Ring camera if you don't have one, so that if he's creeping around, or get multiple of them around the outside that you can put, so that then you also have footage if he's coming around your place.
Yeah. To like leave notes or do anything weird. Yeah.
To do because also maybe he's just standing out there. You don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Oh God! There are just some people that I'm like, can we just throw them into the sun? Like, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, I mean, in this guy's mind, you're like abused. Your boyfriend's making you do things to keep you apart from him.
He's creating a delusion.
Delusional,
yes.
Yeah. Let us know. We love an update and Godspeed. Wow,
this was a big juicy.
This is
a big juicy.
Yeah,
episode.
I mean, it's like we still have one more, but we don't have time. So I guess we'll have to kick it to next week. Listen, thank you guys so much. Everybody who submits messages, we read every single one. We listen to every single one. We are going to be putting bitchlets out on our Instagram, which is Who's the Bitch LPN. Go follow us over on Instagram.
Yes.
And then hit up who'sthebitch.com. That has all the ways to leave a voicemail or a email. Something that this last caller did, which actually sounds really lovely as well, is you can email us a voice note, and then sometimes people send us a voice note and the email has a little bit more information Then the voice, you know what I mean?
Oh, yes.
Like, for a little bit more context, this started at this time, so that you're not like, so that we have a little bit more information, and then the voice, but please also keep the voice note to 5 minutes so that we don't end up with like, long, we can't play 10, 20-minute calls on the show. It would just simply take up too much time. But, but thank you guys so much for submitting, for listening. We love you, and we'll see you next week.
You damn right.
This show is made possible by listeners like you. Thanks to our ad sponsors, you can support our shows by supporting them. For more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lastpodcastnetwork.com.